I am California of the past.
I am California of the past.
I am California of the past.
My name is James O. Perez. I've been a resident of Orange County since about July 4th of 1932 when my parents came over from Arizona. I went through the schools in Santa Ana, and then after that I went into the service. I was sent to Fort Riley, Kansas, where I ended up in the Horse Cavalry. Eventually I was shipped to India. In the meantime, I had written to Santa Ana High School, and lo and behold, Mr. Farrar, who was an assistant principal, wrote back to me. Mind you, in those days it took about 3 months for a letter to go to and from. That went on until the war ended, and at that time I wrote a letter to Mr. Farrar telling him that I was interested in going on to school, and I mentioned USC. Well, about 3 months later, I get a letter back from Mr. Farrar. He said, "James, I've taken the liberty of sending all of your transcripts up to USC. I have spoken to the registrar. When I came back in June of '46, here was an acceptance to USC, thanks to Mr. Farrar." So I graduated out of law school in '55, passed the bar, and then I came down here to Orange County, being the first Hispanic attorney here in the area. There were a couple of fellows that spoke Spanish, but were not of Latino heritage. And I practiced law for about 10 years, had some partnerships, and then Governor Pat Brown appointed me to the bench as a municipal court judge, and I think that was in December of '66, as I recall. And I was the first Hispanic judge here in the county. 9 years down the line, Jerry Brown had then taken over as governor. The first appointment that he had made to the Superior Court here in Orange County, and it happened to be me, and that made me the first Hispanic there at the Superior Court level. And I continued to serve in the court system until 1987, when I retired. At that time, I pretty well walked away from it for about 7 years until my boy Michael decided to go back to law school, and of all things he wanted to go to the school that I went to, which was USC. And I thought, I better go back to work. So I went back and started sitting as an assigned judge, and since that time I have been pretty well working as an assigned judge, namely up here in North Court. Had it not been for Mr. Farrar, I probably would have never ended up where I did, and I owe him a great deal of thanks for his help. And they talk about the fact that there was racial bias. There's an outstanding situation where somebody went out of his way to help somebody get into school.